everyone, I'm Valerie and this is Get Smart, which means you're watching the right channel if you want to practice your English and take it to the next level. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and if you don't want to miss out on any new videos, don't forget to click on that little bell icon. Okay, if you're done with that, I'd say we're ready to roll, so let's go with the intro. In this first video that's dedicated to those of you who can already speak English, I wanted to spare a few words about pronunciation. Yeah, I know, it's a tough one. As you know, English is a fairly simple language as far as grammar is concerned. The structures, the verbs, everything is fairly easy. When it comes down to pronunciation, though, it's a different story. It's a different matter. Why? Because there don't seem to be any rules in English. Most languages have got rules for pronunciation, especially Latin languages. Italian, basically you pronounce it the way you spell it, so you don't have any problems. French is a little bit more contorted because groups of letters together will produce one sound, but the good news is that that sound will be the same in every single word where you can find those letters together. It's not true in English, it doesn't work. The same groups of letters together in different words will produce different sounds. For example, like the double O. The double O is generally accepted that it will make an oo sound. It can be a long one, it can be a short one, like in foot or in food, but oo. It doesn't work with the door. The door's got a double O inside, but it doesn't make an oo sound. So what does it mean? It means we've got three main problems. The first one is that if we accept the fact we don't have any rules to follow, we get some extremely weird pronunciations because we don't spell a word the way we pronounce it and we don't pronounce it the way we spell it. So let's make a few examples of those weird pronunciations. We'll start with a famous place, Leicester Square. Leicester Square is that famous tourist attraction in London where you can go to enjoy the atmosphere, the pubs, the clubs, the restaurants, the bars, and everything. The problem with Leicester Square is usually when tourists arrive there and they see the road sign, they read Leicester Square and they have the impression that they got to the wrong place. And they will stop people in the street asking them for the directions to Leicester Square. And it's not so easy to get them to understand that it's spelled Leicester Square, but you say Leicester Square. Another example is this place. I will give you a few seconds to try and figure out how to pronounce it for yourself. It's a city in the south of England. Honestly, the first time I came across that name, I thought it was a French city because of the spelling. It looked French. And I went with Beaulieu, which could be translated with beautiful place. The problem is that it's not a city in France, it's a city in England, and the right pronunciation for it is Bewley. Bew is kind of logical because it comes from beauty, beautiful, so there is a logic there. Lee is a little bit more strange, actually. But the right pronunciation is Bewley. Other examples would be with names, proper names, people's names. This one, with this weird spelling, is pronounced Siobhan. And that one is Neve. Right? Strange. Very strange. So I guess by now I've made it quite clear that in English we have quite a big difference between the spelling and the pronunciation. But that was only the first problem. The second problem is that because of this absence of rules, we can get words that have different spellings, different meanings, but the same pronunciation. They're called homophones, and you can find them quite frequently in English. For example, flower and flower, or even more simple, there. There can be, they're going to the cinema, so the verb to be. It can be, their house is brand new, there, possessive adjective, or it can be, there's a book on the table. See, it's quite a big problem. Only the context can help you identify which one it is. The third problem is that We can also get words that have the same spelling but different pronunciation. For example, the verb to read. In the present, you say, I read magazines every week, or I read the newspaper every morning. In the past, you will say, I read the newspaper yesterday. It's got the same spelling, but the pronunciation is different. So the question remains, how can we know how to pronounce a word if we don't know that word? Well, actually, there are two ways. The first one is the one I call the parrot system. Parrot because you listen, you copy, and you repeat. That's the way young children learn their native languages. They listen to their parents speaking, they listen to the people in the street, on television, on the radio. They accumulate, they absorb, and little by little they speak. They repeat the words like parrots. This solution is quite simple. It means you need to have an English or an American friend who knows the word you need to pronounce. Ask them to say it for you, listen to it, absorb it, copy from there, and repeat it so that you get it right. It's got a serious problem. It means you need to have a friend, an English friend, on call 24/7. It's not easy. The second solution is to use phonetics. Phonetics is the only way that gives you complete autonomy. The only thing you need to help you is a simple dictionary in the end. Phonetics exists in every language, but most languages don't use it so much because, as I said before, like Latin languages, you basically pronounce the way you spell, so you don't need it so much. In English, on the other hand, it's very important. It's the only way you have to know for sure how to pronounce a word if you don't know that word. The problem with phonetics is that basically nobody studies phonetics, except if you go to university and you decide to specialize in English, then you will have phonetic lessons. But it should be done from an earlier age, like from elementary school, secondary school, because in reality it's not difficult. It is just a series of symbols, and each symbol produces one specific sound. And effectively, if you use your dictionary and you open the dictionary, whatever page, you find an entry word. Next to it, you have those strange, weird symbols inside two slashes, and this is the phonetic, which means if you know the correspondence between the symbol and the sound, you will always be able to pronounce this word. There are obviously more symbols than letters in the British alphabet, because if you consider each letter or group of letters can have different pronunciations, you need to have all the symbols necessary to reproduce those sounds. There are no problems for consonants. The problem comes for vowels and especially diphthongs. The incredible thing about pronunciation in English is that not only foreign people studying the language experience the problem, also native speakers, obviously not every day, not with simple words, but they might be in the situation one day when they need to read a technical article, and inside the article they will find that word that is very particular, very technical, they've never seen it before, and they haven't got a clue how to pronounce it either. The only way they have to be able to say it is the same you have, which means or they have a friend who knows the word and can pronounce it for them and they can copy from there, or they go to the dictionary, open it, and find the phonetic translation. Since I don't want the video to be too long, I will make another one shortly where I will give you the list of all those phonetic symbols with a simple word as an example for the sound, and you can go from there. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Support me with a like, and I'll see you soon. Bye!